guys, I literally got a sweet, super sweet for my sore throat, which I no longer have, but I'm still taking them anyway because I'm just that girl, right? So, as you can see from the title of the video, you need to read about Yeshua, Jesus Christ, Yeshua, right? So, how should I start this video? I'm trying to get my breath back. If you can't understand me well, it's because I've got like a cold. But basically, this video is going to be based on my dream. I had this dream. It could have been in January. I cannot remember. I know it was this year, but I just can't remember when. But I wasn't really doing much YouTube videos then, right? So, as you know, I'm still reading the Bible, but I was still on Genesis when I got this dream. And it came to me, it was a spiritual dream, right? And it told me that I need to read about Jesus, right? And then when I woke up, because if I have a really good dream, when I wake up, I still remember it, right? So obviously, me and my sister are reading the Bible. She's a bit more ahead of me because obviously she would read it consistently, whereas I was very lazy, which I am not now. But like back then, I was lazy. Like I wouldn't stick to it. So I said to her, "Have you read about Jesus yet?" And obviously, she said no. And I said, "But I had a dream, right? And the dream said you have to read about him." And like me and her have been reading the Bible from beginning. Our aim is to read it in order of the books that are in the Bible, right? So she was like, "Yeah, but you're not reading it in order." And that's when I went into like spirit and I was saying, "Yeah, but we need to know him. And so if we don't read about him, right, we're not gonna know who we are, or why we're on this earth. If we don't read about him, you have to get to know him. He's the main part of the Bible. You have to know, no matter what, doesn't matter which book you're reading, you have to read about him. It's so, so important. So just by doing this video is reminding me now that I want to start doing it. You may have seen my video that I posted before this one, talking about the books that I'm reading, and that's why I'm doing this video today, because I want to start making it a habit to read about Jesus. I did read about him now, like the birth of Christ, right? And I got up to the point where they was talking about like how, don't quote me on it, Joseph got a dream. It was over a dream. Um, so I need to reread it. I don't know if it was a dream or it got a message from the angel. I think it was a dream. I think. Correct me, please. And they told him that he needs to go to, was it Egypt? Can I remember? I need to reread this, guys. And there was someone that's meant to be killing, because they wanted to kill him. They wanted, can you believe they wanted to kill him as as he's born? Like they didn't want him to be alive, right? And they said, we'll let you know when it's safe to come back. So when that person died, that's when they got to come back. And I haven't read much after that. I just want to know more about him. I don't know anything, and you do hear stories, but it's not the same as reading it. Reading it for yourself, you need to read about him, and everyone knows he's a great person on earth. We already know that. We have to read it ourselves. We can't listen to what people tell us, you know. And it helps you like in debates as well. If you're having like any type of argument, you can always educate people around Yeshua, Jesus as well. You can always educate people around that. Um, we know that he died for our sins as well. So reading about it, you realize the reason why he died for our sins. It's like, this is why I'm limited in what I can say, because I haven't read much about him. So I really need to do that. I feel like it'll make me more powerful. I'll be able to preach better as well. Um, I did because yesterday I got instructed to read Mark chapter 9, and I was reading that, and you can see like Jesus was in that chapter, and he was, I think there's a verse, I think it's in Mark, it was predicting that he's gonna die. Yeah. Yeah, he made a prediction that he's gonna die and be risen from the dead. Like he made a prediction. So just by even reading about that, I feel like it's gonna be fascinating to read about him, how you can see elements that he is the son of God. Like, he's not like every other human being on earth, if you know what I mean. So I'm so intrigued to see how he was on earth. Like we all know the famous story of when he, you know, got killed and then he rose back from the dead. Everybody all knows that. Um, but reading about it's going to be completely different. I'm a bit nervous to read about it as well because it's not going to be nice to read about that. But my Bible, because when I had my dream telling me that I need to read about Jesus, right? I was thinking like, where in the Bible is Jesus written about, right? Because I thought it would have been in Genesis. I know, I thought it was going to be in Genesis because when I read Genesis and I saw Joseph, I thought that was Joseph, as in Joseph, but it wasn't him. So this is my Bible, right? I'm going to do a separate video talking about my Bible because that was requested. But when I go to the back of my Bible, right, it's actually got this page. Right, let me show you. 1 second, guys. Let me see if I can show you. It's got this. So it's 30 days with Jesus. It's got all the which chapter. It's breaking it down, into different parts of Jesus. So it's got Jesus coming is predicted, Jesus is born, Jesus is baptized by John the Baptist, Jesus begins his public ministry, Jesus calls his disciples. So it's got all the important aspects of his life to help you find it in the book, which I think is really good that they've done that. But definitely, guys, to summarize, we need to read about him. And let me know if you guys have read about him as well. Like, I mean, like literally sat down and read the Bible where it talks about Jesus. Let me know. But I believe that if you haven't, got to reading about him yet, because he's in the New Testament. Yeah, I didn't think he would have been in the New Testament, but Jesus is in the New Testament. I'm still learning, guys. So, yeah, you need to read about him because you need to know who you are and the reason why you're put on this earth. I feel like if you haven't read about him, you're going to be like myself, where you're missing important information to be able to preach about the word of gospel to people if you haven't read about him. And he's an important person in the book as well. They're all important, but he's also important as well. Yeah, so I kind of like wish that I could read it from start to end, but I feel like if I'm being called to do something, I have to do it. So I still read about Exodus, but I'm going to read both. As you can see from my last video, so I'm going to read about Exodus, I'm going to read about Matthew, just to get to know a bit more. But I feel like the Bible is a book that you have to keep reading over and over again, because there's going to be pieces that you may have missed, and you need to understand it on a different level. You have to study the Bible. Yeah, but guys, I'm going to leave this video here. I cannot speak now because of this sweet bad idea to have it on video. But yeah, so let me know if you've read about Jesus. If you haven't, just use this as a reminder to do it. If you have read pieces of him, like, let me know in the comments. I'm intrigued. And what have you learned, from reading about him? Let us know in the comments. Let's all motivate each other to read the Bible and get back into it, because it's so important. And if there's anything you want me to discuss about the Bible, or if you want to have a discussion in the comment section, drop it down below. We can all talk about the Bible as well. But yeah, to summarize, Jesus is important. We have to read about him because we can't rely on other people's, you know, stories to tell us, We've got to stop being lazy. We've got to read about him. And it's more powerful when you do and you know why you're here. And yeah, you'll just read about how great he was on earth and be inspired, which is what I want to achieve. I want to read more about him. So guys, I'm going to leave this video here. It's just a quick short video. Hope everyone is well. Speak to you all soon. Bye.